Hello, this is my little project which I hope you'll enjoy. It's something a bit different. It's a little box which is using one of the little pizza boxes. And I was thinking, with Easter coming up, you might want to make something, a little food present or something like that to give to somebody. And why not use some of the Stampin' Up skills and the crafting skills that you got to decorate something lovely in which to give something. So today I'm using lots of lovely things. So the box, which I'll show you just how to put together. Some of the new fantastic ombre papers, which are in the Sale-A-Bration. There are they. These are they. So you can see you get some size which are plain. There's the Rococo Rose version. And then, so you get Coastal Cabana, Rococo Rose, Granny Apple Green, and Blackberry Bliss, I think that one is. You get a plain version and you get a dotty version. And I just think they're lovely. I can see lots of things why I want to use these papers for. But today I've used them along with the new vine dies to make just a little beautiful top for a box. Okay, and then I'm also going to highlight, if I bring it up a little bit, you might be able to see the little ladybird embellishment, who I think is just the cutest. Okay, and I'm glad to say he's a ladybird, not a harlequin ladybird. I'm not so keen on those. Okay, so just to start with, just to say about the boxes. So the boxes come in a flat pack. This is how they come. But they come like that. Okay, so basically it's all pre-scored, so they're relatively straightforward to put together. What you'll just need to do is fold all the pre-scored lines. Now there will be some little bits that will need to be popped out, but they're very tiny and easy to do. And what I would suggest before you start putting anything together is just let's construct your box. So if you want a bone folder, you could just take your bone folder and just give the score lines a really good push down to make sure they're nice and folded. There we go. So that's the box all folded up. And then what I tend to do is I start at this end, so the end where the big hole is, because what happens is this one folds over and these two tabs, you see those tabs just on the ends there, they just need to go into these holes. There are a couple of holes here. I don't know if I can do that in an angle, we can see them. There they are. They just need to pop into those. That way they can then stand up. Okay, then you bring the side parts over. Oops, I found one I haven't done. I haven't folded that one. That's what happens. Too busy talking and not enough noticing. Yeah. Oh, put those in first. Sorry, should we start again with this video bit? So what happens is fold the sides in first and you'll see that they go into the, then you fold the top over and then it just, as you can hear that clicky noise, they just tuck in and it all holds that base bit together. Okay, then fold your sides in, they come over like that, tuck you in, and there we go, one box which stays together, so it's not going to be leaping open or something like that. And it's very easy for your customers or whoever you give it to open, because they've just got the little tab bit on the front. They can lift it and then you can open. Okay, so that's the box constructed and ready to go. I'll just put that to one side. Now for the top, let me just bring it back again, sorry. I have found a complementary coloured paper, not always the same as the thing. So this one I've used actually rich raspberry, because I found when I used the Blackberry Bliss it was a bit dark, and then a piece of basic white which is just going to be fitting on top, which just allows a hint of the colour to come out underneath. So if you see what the effect is on the original one, you can see how that colour just brings it all together and helps it all fit together nicely and gives you a sense of colour all the way through. So first of all, I'm going to stick my basic white down to have to say, it's probably still one of my loveliest colours. I do like the Costa Cabana with a little nice sheer ribbon. But in this instance, we're using the Blackberry Bliss one. So there we go. That's my base. So that can just sit on top of my card box over there. Don't stick it down though. Then, this is one of the beautiful designs out of the Vine dies. I'm just going to put it on the back so you can see. You want it on a darker paper a little to see the full effect of how that works. Isn't it lovely? I think it's really gorgeous. Actually, it might do better if it's on the back of something that's very contrasting. There we go. I just love the delicacy of it and how it all comes together. Now, you could always just take the base, stick it straight on. However, I just thought that is nice. I'm not going to say it's nice, but I wanted to add a little bit extra. So what I've done is I've cut out a series of 1/2 inch circles, or they're not probably in 1/2 inch, they probably might be less than that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the back. So let me just show you the difference. If I put that there, and can you see how much more the flower itself stands out by having that darker background? Even on bits of the paper, because it's ombre, obviously the tones change, but even on the darker colours, it still makes quite a big difference having that background on there. So turn your die over to the side you don't want. See, there we go. That's what it would be like if it was the Granny Apple Green, but I'm not going with Granny Apple Green on this instance. I'm going with the Blackberry Bliss side. So taking a nice little bit of glue, and I know it's a little tedious, but if I can just get my glue to go gently, I'm just going to dot or blollop, depending on how the glue comes out, some glue around the flowers. Pop my circles on and just make sure that the circle is within the flower, so you've not got any sneaky bits showing out underneath it. And then you are going to get a bit gluey with this, I'm afraid. It's hard to put it, and just try not to make it stick to the paper underneath. Pick it up once more. Just be a little careful, it's a little bit fragile because you've got all the die bits. And then you can see how that has transformed those flowers. I don't quite know what's happened that bit. I'm just going to remove that little bit of glue up there, never mind. And it's transformed those flowers. So the next thing you've got to do is you need to stick it down to your base. So in this instance it's much easier. You can just do now this is the top, or with the top of your box, okay? So it fits on snugly, I would say, on the Vine Designs. There we go. Now in this instance I'm just going to press it down gently and take the bone folder, just press it down gently to make sure it really sticks on. So I've got it once I know it's sort of secure. What I'm just going to do is take it and just turn it over and give it a better push down. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, that's quite a different effect from if it was just the design with a die on its own. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do before I attach it to the box, because that will be the next thing we'd attach this topper to the box, I'm just going to put my ribbon round because I don't want to make it really difficult when I'm coming to do the ribbon on it later. So this is the time to add your ribbon. Add the ribbon now before you stick anything to the top of the box. So you can use all sorts of complementary ribbons. This is, okay. So if you wanted to, you could just leave it with the ends. You just trim the ends off and you could have it as a sort of two-way, like a semi-bow. Or in this instance, I'm going to attempt to do a full bow. The ribbon's a little stiffer than the other ribbon I used on the other box. Oops, I just need to make my loop a little bigger, I think, and then I'll get my ribbon through underneath. Just be a bit careful because you don't want to, there we go. I just like to straighten my ribbon up so the bows are going in a particular direction. I'm just going to pull it down a bit. Anyway, you can fiddle with your ribbon to your heart's content, clearly. I won't carry on doing that now because I could be here all day. I am just going to trim my ribbon off slightly. I always do my end trimmings just at a little angle. There we go. Now, before I put it onto the top of my box, I am just going to add, I've got a Diamante to go into the centre of each flower. Now, obviously you could leave them blank, but I just think they look nice with a little bit of uplift. There we go, that's with the ribbon, and I wanted to show you the little ladybirds. They're these ladybird, although I have to say because Stampin' Up's an American company they call them ladybugs, but I think of them as ladybirds. I think these little trinkets are really lovely, so all I'm going to use is a couple of glue dots in this instance. So I'm going to just pop my glue dots on a corner. I'm going to do it with two just to lift them up a bit. Then I'm going to take my ladybird, just pop my ladybird on top, give them a really hard push. And there, my ladybird is nice and secure on the corner. Finally, I'm just going to pop a dimensional onto the back and I'm just going to pop my card topper, there we go, just pop it onto the top of the box, line it up, just gently push down on the four corners, and there you are. So there's two examples of ombre paper with the vine designs, making a little box top for probably an Easter treat. Thank you very much.